One Parkersburg kid went to Charleston to compete in the first annual Junior Youth of the Year competition. She was interviewed by judges and gave a heartfelt speech, which led to her winning the Junior Youth of the Year award. Our Logan Riggenbaugh went to the Boys and Girls Club of Parkersburg to talk to her about her experience in the West Virginia state capitol.
Hadleigh went to the State Junior Youth of the Year competition after winning the local competition at the Boys and Girls Club of Parkersburg's clubhouse. She wrote an essay, submitted a resume, and prepared a speech for the competition. Hadleigh's speech was about what it was like when she first joined the Boys and Girls Club of Parkersburg.
I talked about how the Boys and Girls Club gave me opportunities and how I've made so many nice, good friends, how the staff helped me, and that I'm really so grateful for the Boys and Girls Club.
While in Charleston, kids from Boys and Girls Clubs from across the state addressed the West Virginia State Legislature to advocate for themselves. Lynn Rines, the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Parkersburg, says she is proud of Hadleigh and what she has accomplished.
It really is just this experience that you can't really describe when you see this kid that you've known for years and they've just grown up in front of your eyes find themselves. And I think Hadleigh has grown so much in just a few years that I've known her, and has really become just this well-rounded young lady, and I can't wait to see where else she goes.
Reporting from Parkersburg, I'm Logan Riggenbaugh for W.Va News. This is Home.